Hi everyone!
Hello.
Happy Thursday. Look who's back! It's John! John liked being on the live so much, he asked to come back.
Yeah.
Just kidding, I asked him to come back. Today we're gonna go over the wine bases, the Vintner's Best wine bases that we have. Which, as you can see, they're right behind us. We have 29 different flavors. I knew we had a lot of flavors, but I didn't know like how many that we had. And then I started looking, and John and I were talking about it. We were like, there's a lot of flavors of these guys.
Lots.
So, today we're going to be drinking one that he made. So that's kind of cool.
Yep. And it's elderberry.
Elderberry.
Yep. This exact one.
So, we already got it poured here. I don't think I've had anything elderberry flavored, like, in general, so.
It's not that common, but I've heard a lot of people talk about how good it was when they've had it. I like it.
It's like
Fruit juice.
See, this is where I wish that I had a more refined palate, because it tastes like a fruit that I know, but I wouldn't have said like, oh, it's elderberry.
It's a blend.
It tastes like a mix of like apple and a berry, kind of together.
And I think apple is the first ingredient, but elderberry by itself might just be a little too strong.
A little too strong, so they put some in there to
That's my guess.
balance it out. Cool. Alright, so before we get into it, I do just want to say I'm going to do my best to touch on prices, but if I, for whatever reason, miss them, because we're going to be going through quite a few things today, just jump into the comments and ask me. And that goes for any questions that anyone has. Just jump into the comments and let me know, and we'll try to do our best to answer them. So as far as the wine bases, they're going to run you anywhere from $39.99 to $49.99. On average, they were right around that 45 mark. So it's a little bit less expensive option than doing a kit, right?
Yeah, the Wine Expert Reserves and especially we've got some Cru Selects and private reserves. It's personal preference to what you like. I like a lot more basic wines and fruit wines. My wife loves drier, so I've made her a couple different wines, and she doesn't care for this as much because it's a little sweeter.
Okay.
The fruit.
Yeah, it is a little sweeter than some of the stuff that Paula and I are drinking. Although we were drinking the Island Mist. It's not as sweet as the Island Mist. That stuff is like
Probably in between.
sugar.
Yeah, but you can back sweeten this too. If you don't back sweeten it at all, then it's going to be a little drier, of course.
So it's a blend of juice concentrates, citric acid, corn syrup, and then it just said natural flavoring. So I feel like everything these days has natural flavoring as an ingredient.
It tastes good. That's what matters.
If you use it as it's intended, your ABV is going to be around 10%. So I feel like most wines are in that 10 to 14.
10 to 14, yeah.
So it's a little bit on the lower end. And like I said, it doesn't need to be strained. It just needs to be diluted with 4 gallons of water, and you're good to go. Of course, you have to use a yeast, and that's why we have these 2 yeast here. We have Premier, Classic, Red Star, and then Loveland KV1. How do you say this?
V1118 or 1116.
Okay, V1116. Okay, because I was like V1116.
Say it however you want.
Yeah. Do you really? Is there a different, like, either works, right?
Yeah. And there's even like a champagne yeast, a very neutral 1118. But you use whatever yeast you like. But when you're starting out, if you haven't used one before, just go with the recommendations, and that's what you have.
Yeah, and that's what, here, I'll give you a little bit closer here. But, that's what these guys look like. And, the yeasts are going to be, I didn't look up the price of the 1116, but the Red Star Classic, it's going to be $1.49, and it'll make 5 gallons, so.
Okay.
And then you can also put in clearing agents. So that's where things like this guy, I've heard a million ways to pronounce this. I say chitosan. Chitosan. I've heard, like, when I was originally starting to work here, I looked it up, and there's like every video I watched had like a different pronunciation. So I was like, okay, we'll go with it.
Paula would know.
Yeah, but Paula, if you're out there, if you're watching, someone says hello from Canada. Hi. Is it snowy there? It's starting to get kind of cold and gross here. But yeah, so chitosan, chitosan, whatever you want to say, and then Kisasol. Those are going to be like your clearing agents that will help make your wine a bit clearer than just throwing the yeast in there.
And you don't need any of that. I mean, the instructions say mix it with 4 gallons of water, stir it,
Let it sit.
and you're going to have wine.
Yeah,
But there are a lot of things you can do to
a lot of different things.
to make it a little more visually appealing. Like with this one, I actually filtered it, and you don't need to at all. You can just go to tertiary after secondary if you want, and just leave the sediment at the bottom.
Here,
But-
I'll show them. You use
This
this
is-
guy to filter it.
This is very
So-
nice.
This is the Buon Vino.
Bonvino,
Yeah, there we go. That's a better pronunciation. Good job, John.
Bonvino Mini Jet.
And so this just runs the wine through it essentially, and then clears it.
Yep,
like,
it's got a built-in
filters
pump,
it.
and then you use those filter pads.
So there's the different types of filter pads here. There's 3 different types, and
Or
Let's see.
stages. You got a coarse
Yeah.
filter number 1, and then a medium filter number 2, and then a polishing filter number 3. So you can get
you're
it.
supposed to use. I mean, if you
Hard
wanted
to tell with the
to,
darker wine, but-
if you wanted to, you'd run it through 3 separate times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first you'd go through with the coarse, then you'd go through with the polishing, and then lastly you'd go through with the sterile.
Oh yeah, polishing then sterile.
Yeah. Okay, and that just helps make it clearer.
And it takes out any residual yeast or particles.
Okay.
Some people don't like to see the floaties. I'm a craft beer drinker, so it's natural for
doesn't
me.
bug you, yeah. I feel
Nope.
like if I received wine from someone as like a gift though and there was floaties in it, it would make me nervous if I didn't know that was,
It's all
a
part of
little
it.
bit natural. But
It's all part of it.
yeah, I remember I was giving I made one of the Island Mist kits, and one of my friends had something not so great happen to her in her life, so I gave her a bottle of wine. I was like, here you go. And she said that it was like one of the best wines that she ever had, but I got nervous because when I was bottling it, there was all the floaty stuff in there, and I was like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna like it, but it turned out fine.
Yeah.
And then you also said that you didn't think you wanted more elderberry flavor, right?
I've heard feedback about not enough elderberry flavor, and there's options for that.
So what you can do is add the dried elderberries. This is one of our many dried additives that we have here. This is 8 ounces of dried elderberries for $16.99. So
And I don't know how much you would need. I have not looked that up to see recommendations for how much you would put in a 5-gallon batch.
yeah, usually on our website we do have recommendations. I'm not seeing anything specific on the package, but if anyone was interested, we could look that up for you. And then last but not least, I guess last but not least, we have the labels. So, someone said how much is the filter system? There you go. Yeah, see, I'm already forgetting prices. So the filter system is going to be $199.99. So around $200 to filter your wine, and it's a good investment if you're really into winemaking. And I'm assuming you can use it for like meat and stuff like that too. I don't see why not.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you would want to put a beer through it, but any kind of fruit juice.
Yeah. And then like I said, we just sell these filter pads on our website. You can just get replacements. So, and the filter pads, did I put how much the filter pads are? I don't know, but the filter pads were like, I don't want to say between $5 and $10, so it wasn't a big deal, like as far as an investment. But so then we have the labels to make them look all pretty. And these labels are $6.49 for a 30 count. It was saying that you get about 24 bottles.
Yeah, looks a lot better than what I make.
It looks so nice. Okay, so story time. When I first started working here, I wanted to like partner with some YouTube channels, and I was like, it'd be really cool if we made a beer label and then gave it to those YouTubers to put on their beers and say like, hey, Homebrew sent us these labels, And so I'm a graphic designer, and I made the labels. That's no problem, right? But the printing out and fussing and being finicky with the printer on the photo paper, like, you can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, and plenty of people do it, but this is worth it.
It's a lot easier.
They look a lot nicer than what I eventually got nice looking labels. It just took a minute. So if you don't have a lot of time to mess around and you just want your labels to look nice, boom.
And we have labels for almost everything we sell.
We do. I was going through the labels, and it was like Pinot Noir 1, Pinot Noir 2, and then I was like, how many Pinot Noir labels do we have? And it was like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, a lot easier.
this is really good, by the way.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah. I'm not even a wine drinker, and this is super easy. That's why I like these wine bases, because they have a nice sweet fruit flavor to them.
And you said that you were gonna make. You had plans to make more.
Yeah, pear, sangria, and watermelon. I already bought them, so those are next. This was the first time I've ever made one of these wine bases from Vintner's Best, and I love the turnout.
Yeah, I something I wanted to mention too is these blue bottles. It's the Cobalt Hot bottles, and you can get them for $19.99 for a case of 12. So if you're making a 5-gallon batch, it'd be like $40 for bottles, but they're beautiful. They're really pretty.
Yeah, we have lots of different colors and styles, from
Yeah.
Bordeaux to Hock.
You were talking about the Dead Leaf.
Dead Leaf, yeah, I put Chardonnay in that one, and it's a gorgeous bottle.
Yeah.
It's fun. You buy a bottle for each flavor and keep them separate. Ask your friends to bring the bottles back so you can reuse them.
Somebody said, what's your most random flavor? We have hemp.
What's
Actually.
random?
So this is a CBD based, well, I don't know if it's CBD based, but made with real fruit juice, hemp flavor. It said that it's supposed to be earthy. It doesn't have any THC, so it's not going to like get you high, essentially.
5 milligrams of CBD per
But it
8
does have
fluid
CBD.
ounces.
Yeah. So when I was reading stuff about this, it said that it can have like a calming effect to
That's
it,
the
like any
CBD
other CBD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I would feel about the flavor of hemp, but
I'd like to try it.
I wouldn't mind trying it. I think someone here, Germany, may have made.
Did you try the
Did you
hemp
make
one?
this?
I made it.
Germany's
Yeah.
right over there.
It was horrible.
Well, there
Well,
you have it.
She said it was
It
horrible.
was absolutely horrible.
Try it for yourself.
Just imagine chewing grass.
Imagine chewing grass. Okay,
That's
cool.
a little too earthy for me.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, I chewed grass far too often, so maybe I'd like it. I'd always try to make those whistles. One time I was in grade school, and we were like sitting outside. It was like recess or something, and I got the whole class taking grass and going, like making a whistle. And one of the teachers came out, and they're like, stop making like whistling sounds. There's still people in class. And I was like, sorry. I was like that goody two shoes kid. I was like so embarrassed. But yeah.
That would be the most random flavor I could think of.
Yeah. We also have just some like unique flavors. Like I don't think you really see passion fruit in a lot of things, or at least I haven't. In my Instagram
Or
ventures.
the Niagara? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I think the Niagara is a specific blend of grape,
Okay.
if I'm correct. But yeah, so lots of different flavors to try.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. Very affordable at that price
Yeah.
range.
Oh, something I wanted to mention. I did math, which is something that I'm not very good at. If you basically just take the minimum bare ingredients and don't get the filter, and but you get the clearing agents and the yeast and all that, the bottles and the labels, then for a batch of 24 bottles of wine, it would come out to $4.74 per bottle.
It's cheap.
So cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap, good wine.
And it tastes great. It really does.
Well, on that note, I think cheers. Hope you guys are all having a good rest of your day.
Yep. Happy New Year's
Yeah,
Eve.
happy New Year's Eve.
Yep, everyone be safe.
Everyone don't get too excited. We gotta creep in slowly this year.
Yep. We still have the same problems.
All right. Well, on that lovely note,
Goodbye,
let's end this
2020.
thing. Goodbye, 2020.